the Chicago Bears done making roster moves? Is the Chicago Bears roster officially set? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports, I'm back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit the big red subscribe button down below. Make sure you are following me on all my social media platforms, guys. And as always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so we've seen a bunch of moves being made over the past couple of days, right? Multiple waiver claims, I think 6 of them, right? We've seen the roster cut down to 53 players. We've seen guys get waived. We've seen guys get brought on. We've seen a lot of action happen over the past couple of weeks. And Ryan Poles wasn't joking when he said this team's going to look a lot different in the next coming weeks. And it does. My question is it finally set? Is this the official roster heading into week 1 against the 49ers? And to me, I believe it is, okay? Could we have a few tweaks here and there with regards to adding another receiver? A guy like a Preston Williams is still out there potentially. Or could you add another offensive lineman? Could you add maybe another defensive player? Sure. But for the most part, I think this is the roster, all right? And again, I feel much better about the roster in the sense of we did get better the last couple of weeks, right? Getting Alex Leatherwood, I know he's a project, but he's a guy, if we hit on him and he's right, it could be a big steal for us. Emir Smith-Marset, he is an absolute steal for us, getting him from the Vikings, who probably never should have cut him in the first place. And he had some much-needed wide receiver depth after the injuries to Tajay Sharp and N'Keal Harry. Armon Watts, he was a potential starter for the Vikings, and we get him off waiver claims. So guys like that, it's really helping us kind of shore up this team. And now the offensive line depth looks a lot better. And obviously you've got guys like Tevin Jenkins playing pretty well. I feel good about the starters, right? Justin Fields, David Montgomery, Mooney. I'm thinking the other 2 wide receiver starters are probably Pringle and Equanimeous St. Brown. You've got Velus Jones Jr. bringing the X Factor, Cole Kmet ready to break out, hopefully at the tight end spot. We talked about the offensive line with, Braxton Jones handling Justin Fields' blindside, then Cody Whitehair, Lucas Patrick. I'm hoping he's back for week 1. Then you got Jenkins and Borum. Hopefully they're the future at the right side of the offensive line. And then on the other side, with the defensive side, right, you hope that defensive line is led with Robert Quinn, Justin Jones, and then I think Armon Watts could potentially start on that line. He's that talented. Al-Kareem Muhammad, and then you've got your linebacker core. We know Jack Sanborn made this roster. Roquan Smith's ready to ball. And then the secondary, right? With your 2 rookies who look to be studs in Jaquan Brister and Kyler Gordon, you add them with Eddie Jackson, you add them with Jalen Johnson, and this team, I know that it's not going to be a contender or even a potential playoff team, but this team looks to be a team that will play hard every single game and give you their all. So I'm excited for it right now, and I do think the roster is pretty much set. I don't expect major moves here. I don't expect a trade. I don't expect anything else until we see games being played. Because after we see, first 4 weeks of the season, first 6 weeks of the season, let's see where the roster's at. What's our record? Where do we need to get better? Do we have any injuries? So overall, my answer is I think we're pretty set here. Maybe a move here or 2, but for the most part, this is the roster heading into week 1 against the 49ers, and pretty excited. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below as always. Thanks.